Hi teachers, this is going to be a quick video showing you how to add sentence strips to your slides, and this can be a really nice visual way of cueing your students into those moments during your lesson when you're using models and exemplars. So we'll go over a few examples together so you get an idea of how to add those in. So for example, in this slide deck, there is a page with 2 prompts that students are expected to respond to. So think about how I might best support them. I would want to provide maybe a sentence strip with an exemplar or with a sentence starter. The first prompt asks, what are some other reasons that people might move or migrate? So one way to add in a sentence strip is to use the shape tool. So I usually use a rectangle. I'll draw it out here and then choose a background with a high contrast. The slide background here is blue, so I'll use white. And I usually make the border transparent to make things a little smoother visually. Then I also go here to format options and usually add a drop shadow. That just helps it pop a little bit, and along with something like tilting, can just add some visual interest for students. So now I'm ready to write into the shape, and I think for this one I'll do a full exemplar. I'm going to change the font quickly to something that looks like handwriting, and I'll write my exemplar. People might move because they are fleeing war in their home countries. So I have my exemplar written. I might try to space it out a little bit, and thinking about the students reading on screens might make it bigger if I need to. And then we'll do the second prompt below for a second example. What was Mrs. Wong's reason for bringing moon cakes from China to New York? And I'll just copy and paste this so that I don't have to fidget again with the formatting, and I'll tilt it in the other direction. I think for this one, instead of doing the full exemplar, I'm just going to do a sentence starter. So maybe I'll say something like, Mrs. Wong brought the moon cakes because, then students can complete that with their own ideas. The last thing I'm going to do on this slide with these sentence strips is add in an animation so that they fade in on a click. And the reason I do this instead of having the sentence strips appear alongside the questions right away is that it gives students an opportunity first to read the question and think about it. Also, having everything appear at once might be too much visual input for students and might be overwhelming. So the way I do that is I'll select the sentence strip and I'll go here to animate. And we'll add in an animation, fade in on click, which will work for me for this slide, and I'll do it below for the second one as well. So I select it, and then here I'll say add animation. And then if you want to preview it and see what it would look like with your animations added in, you can do that. So you can see here they're just fading in on the click. Let's look at a second example to see another way to apply this. In this slide deck, there's a page where students respond to 2 prompts, the prompt in green and the prompt in yellow. So I'm going to add in some sentence strips to help them formulate those responses. I'm going to use the text box tool, which is another way you can add in the sentence strips. And for the first prompt in green, I'm going to have it appear right here above the sentence starter. As I go over the prompt with the kids, I will cue them into the sentence starter and then have the full sentence strip appear so they can see this is how you apply the sentence starter to a full response. Because I'm using the text box tool, it shows up as transparent, so I'll change the background to white, and I will add in my drop shadow here. I will then change the font, and I might change the color of the font to green to show students the connection between my response and the original prompt. So to write out my full exemplar, in New York, health outcomes are unequal across communities. And then again, adjust the size if I need to make it as visually clear for students as possible. I'm going to do a second sentence strip in response to the prompt in yellow. Copy and paste it. Does the statement surprise you? Explain your thinking. I'm going to change the color to yellow to show again that connection with the yellow prompt. This does not surprise me because there is inequality throughout the world. And then I might need to make that a little smaller to fit into this space. And then again, that will appear right here over the yellow prompt. Again, I'll add in my animations for these to fade in after students have had a chance to look at the prompt and see the sentence starter. So animation for the green, animation for the yellow. And this is what it would look like. So I talk them through the prompt and the sentence starter. Then I have the sentence strip appear. Same thing with the yellow. And then that appears right over that. It's really important when you are using sentence strips that are covering the prompt to create a duplicate slide. This is what I do, and then delete the sentence strips from it so that first students have a chance to see the exemplars, and then when they're applying it on their own, they can see clearly the prompts again instead of having them covered. So hopefully this was helpful for you to learn how to use sentence strips in your own lessons, again, to help the kids focus in on those moments when you're using modeling and exemplars.